Alright lads, so early this week, we hit 50,000 subscribers. This is the milestone that I never thought we would ever reach, but here we are, and it's all thanks to you lads. I'm obviously very blessed to be in this position where I can upload Bleach Brave Souls content daily for you lads to enjoy. I have a very fun time making them, and I put a lot of effort in this channel, and it's really nice to see that pay off with this particular community that we basically built up. And you know, not only am I happy that our community is ever growing, but at the same time, this is also a proof, a demonstration that the BBS community is still ongoing. It's still thriving after all these years, and we're only on the edge of the potential peak that is about to be the 1,000-year Blood War anime, which we are going to be watching it weekly with you lads on the channel here too. So make sure you let are subscribe. We're now shooting for 100,000 subscribers. If you're only part of that goal, make sure you lads subscribe. For the 50,000 subscriber special though, we did make a little community post asking you lads to basically ask me anything. I didn't really have anything planned because we did hit it quite quick. For 100k, we will have something big planned, and I'll make sure I have something planned for it. But for 50k, we're going to do a little Q&A. I say little, but it's going to be like 40 plus minutes long for you lads to get to know me better and just enjoy some of these questions that you lads want to know about me. So with that said, let's jump into it. No more delaying it, because it's going to be a long video. Let's get into the questions and see what you lads have to say. Which Bleach moment gave you the chills, or was just really well done in your opinion? Now this one might come as a surprise, but I'm actually going to say the turn back the pendulum arc. That arc right there, I think, was the moment that I really got into Bleach. Now that arc does happen quite far into the anime, and of course at that point I was already a fan of the anime, but I think it was at that moment, finding out all these characters that we knew of having bigger importance in Soul Society, being ex-captains and all, finding out how they're connected to Aizen, and also finding out how they became visors in the first place and why they were exiled from Soul Society, which is a massive dump of lore, and that's the stuff I love when it comes to any anime. And I think that arc right there, the turn back the pendulum arc, was really a special moment that really got me excited to continue watching Bleach. What is your favorite opening or endings of Bleach? So this was a tough one, but I think I'm going to go ahead and say that my favorite opening of Bleach is opening 2, the one by Overlord. The drop with Toshiro running in and just, you know, the visuals for the opening itself, you know, getting our first look at Soul Society. I just really love this opening. I would say opening 13 of Rambi No Melody is the best Bleach opening, and it was definitely tied for like my #1 spot, but I think opening 2 just kind of has a sweet spot for me. For my favorite ending, I'm probably going to go ahead and, funny enough, say ending 2 as well. Ending 2 is an absolute vibe, and I just love this particular song. When I was watching Bleach, I would mostly skip the endings, move on to the next episode, but in that case, I would always make sure that I stay to the end credits. But I will say Digimo's ending and also Stereo Pony's ending, I'm not sure what numbers they are, but these two, they were also really good contenders for my favorite ending. What was the best day you ever had in a Bleach Brave Souls? July 23rd, 2017, the second anniversary for Bleach Brave Souls. I do 6 steps and walk away with basically everything I wanted. A new TLA Fullbring Ichigo. I think 4 other 5 stars that I forgot the names of, but most importantly, we got second anniversary Ichigo. Our very first anniversary character, and getting that with the Fullbring Ichigo, a character that I was hunting for the last couple of months, was just a super fun time to be playing Bleach Brave Souls, especially at the time as a somewhat free-to-play player, because I wasn't spending much money in the game at that point. It was just really good to get everything I wanted in basically 6 steps. What is your favorite OST from Bleach and also Bleach Brave Souls? For Bleach, I would probably say Treachery, and then for Bleach Brave Souls, you would think I would say 6th Anniversary Aizen's OST, which definitely is one of the better ones, and it's definitely up there, but I'm tied between Resolution, which is from the Can't Fjord collaboration, or the Daybreak, which is from the Don Kanoji Spirits of Every Banner. Both of them just give off different type of vibes. The Don Kanoji one is just super fun to listen to, and then the Resolution one I think is kind of emotional, and again, we talked about it in the best OSTs, but that, either Aizen's or 7th Anniversary song, Resounding Pride. Those 4 are like my 4th favorite in the game. How unreasonable do you think it is for Killer to basically give us a pity system? I think I stand with everyone when I say that we do need a pity system in this game. After X amount of orbs spent on a banner, you should be able to pick the character you want, especially because this game isn't that hard, and majority of the fun from this game comes from playing with your favorite character, and then if you can't get said favorite character after spending a significantly large amount of orbs, then you're not going to continue playing the game, right? So I think hopefully one day we can just get that long-awaited pity system. They've done it for the Brave Fest banners, but they need to do it for every single banner. Do you have any realizations come to mind now that you've hit this milestone? Any thoughts for the future of BBS? So I don't think I had any realizations when it came to the subscriber count. I think it's obviously great that our community is obviously ever growing, and this is going to continue to grow as we do go into, you know, the new year with the new anime and stuff like that. For the future of BBS, I think it looks promising. Again, with the anime coming back, I'm very excited to see what Caleb are going to do next, and we talked about that in the past too. I think for the next 2 or so years, it's just going to be a very fun time playing Bleach Brave Souls, since we have the anime returning, and potentially even the future of Bleach with potential, you know, novels getting animated, maybe even movies getting animated, for example, maybe even new movies and potentially even new Bleach games. That's something to look forward to. So I think the future for BBS and also Bleach in general is just really, really bright. It's almost blinding. Do you think Caleb will do another collaboration, or will they make a game original characters? It would be kind of interesting to see Caleb make actual original characters, very similar to the Sega game where they made that Arturo character. Similar games like Grand Cross have original characters in-game, and I would like to see Caleb go down that route and just see what the reception is, because of course they've done original designs for canon characters like the Beyond Bankai, Beyond Resurrection, but I would like to see a take, especially working close with Kubo, to see them come up with a new character and a new story, particularly for Bleach Brave Souls. As for collaborations though, they obviously did mention the potential chance of a collaboration in the most recent 7th anniversary survey, and I've talked about it in the past. I would love a Yu Hakusho, a JoJo, or a Naruto collaboration. But any collab with any anime, even an anime that I haven't seen, I'd be down for, because it just can bring new players into the game. What's the unluckiest you've been on a banner? So since I do obviously upload my summon videos, there are examples of me just getting absolutely wrecked. Best most recent example would be the 7th anniversary, me spending basically 8,000 orbs before I got my first copy of 7th anniversary Ichigo, and then proceeding to spend like another 5,000 orbs to then get my first copy of Uryu. That is definitely my most recent example of terrible luck. Prior to that, we had the 6th anniversary countdown songs where I was going for dupes of 5th anniversary Ichigo because I didn't think he would be in the anniversary banner, which he ended up being in the banner, so I kind of just wasted orbs. And in that banner, we did 30 steps and then got basically no 5th anniversary Ichigos. So those are probably 2 prime examples of me just getting absolutely destroyed on camera for you lads' enjoyment. But I would say one of my biggest shots was actually 4,000 orbs on a mid-month premium banner, the Zanpakuto banner with Katen Kyokotsu, Suzumabachi, and also Sogen no Kotowari. This was when, again, I was free to play. I never really ever summoned the mid-month banners, but I really wanted these characters because I didn't own a Zanpakuto character at that time, and I thought the characters designs for all 3 characters here were actually pretty cool for the time being, and I ended up spending 4,000 orbs and got nothing. Ever since then, I refused to ever summon on 3% banners, and that's why I was glad back when, well, after the 4th anniversary, they stopped doing 3% banners and made mid-month banners actually, you know, double rates. After 1,000 Yaboa banners are finished, what will happen to end of month banners? Are all of them going to be swimsuit, Christmas, and Halloween, etc. banners? So that's a good question. Unfortunately, I don't think any of us is ever going to know until the time does come, right? I don't think 1,000 Year Blood War will ever finish, though. I think we're just going to be at a point where we just get 1,000 Year Blood War banners. Eventually, certain characters are going to get outdated, and then they're just going to get remade. And then they're going to do new stuff with, you know, just characters they haven't done just yet. I also think at one point we might start to get remakes of Can't For Your characters, because I think a lot of us would be excited for a new SP Tokinada or a new Hikane, for example. So it's yet to be seen what's going to happen in a few years from now, but I'm excited for it, and again, I'm sure Caleb will do stuff to spice up every now and then. What kind of music do you listen to, and who is currently your favorite band/artist? So I don't have a certain type of music that I listen to. It's just whatever sounds nice, I just listen to, essentially. I don't go out and seek new types of music, right? But I would probably say my favorite band right now is Gorillaz. Been a fan of them for many, many years. Do own a couple of the albums. And then I would also like to point out, I have been listening to a lot of CreepyNuts. They did the opening and ending for Call of the Night, and I'm a big fan of their music right now. If you had to pick a songwriter and rewrite their letter/ability, who would it be, and what ability would you give them? I would probably pick Giselle and change her Z, the zombie, to Zombus. What's your favorite foods? So again, I don't have a particular type of favorite food, but, you know, you can never go wrong with a good old box of chicken and chips. I grew up in London, so that's why chicken chips could never go wrong with. What made you play Bleach Brave Souls before actually watching Bleach? So at the time, at the start of 26, I just kind of got into anime. I've been watching anime for like a year or two. I knew of Bleach, but I never really got into it. But at the time, I was actually watching One Piece. I found out the One Piece Treasure Cruise gacha game was a thing. I started playing that, and then eventually, obviously, at this point, I was hooked into anime. I wanted to play more anime mobile games, and that's when I came across Bleach Brave Souls when it literally first came out. I found out because of Boris Anime. He was a One Piece Treasure Cruise YouTuber at the time, and he made a video playing Bleach Bleach Brave Souls, so I gave it a try, and at that point, ever since, it hasn't been my main gacha game. It was a kind of a side game that I played, but I really did like it, and it got me into watching Bleach. But Bleach Brave Souls became my main gacha game after I pulled Full Hollow Ichigo a couple of months into the game's lifespan. Are you collecting any Bleach figures or statues? So the short answer is no, I don't own any Bleach figures. They obviously do look cool, and I've been wanting to get some of them, mainly this Yoruichi one, and also this Adam Yodo one. I will probably pick up some in the future, but as of right now, I don't have any Bleach figures. But I have been obviously starting to get into collecting some other items, like, you know, the Bleach Brave Souls stuff, some of the Bleach Brave Souls merch, and also some of the Bleach Expo stuff. We did make a video showcasing that a couple of days ago, so I'm only now starting to get into collecting, like, rare items from the Bleach community, and also the Bleach Brave Souls community, and maybe eventually I'll start buying some figures. Especially with the anime returning, there's going to be a lot of new figures coming out that are going to be very, very cool, that I'll probably pick up sometime later. What was your first impression after seeing Adam Yodo, and what made you like him as your favorite Bleach character? So of course we all have our own reasons for liking particular characters. In my case, the reason why I liked Adam Yodo, the very simple answer is just that he has Aaron in his name. My real name is Aaron, and then his name being Adam Yodo, I instantly just clicked, I was like, alright, this character's goated, let me see what he can do. And obviously in the fight itself with Rukia, I think it was actually quite impactful in my opinion. As far as the Espadas do go, Adam Yodo's design is a lot more alien compared to them, and I kind of like that to a certain extent. At the same time, the Rukia and Adam Yodo fight was one of the better Soripa versus Espada fights, obviously because they do tie in the Kain story, and it was obviously a big character moment for Rukia, and this entire fight more so develops Rukia at the cost of Adam Yodo's character because it's short-lived, but I still think it was a very fun fight to watch, and I believe a lot of people share the same opinion, and that's why in a popularity poll they did a few years back, Rukia vs Adam Yodo was the second most voted fight, popular fight, and it actually beat out the likes of Gin vs Aizen and Rukia vs Asno. So, you know, it was a big moment, more so for Rukia, again at the cost of Adam Yodo, but Adam Yodo was there, and I thought it was pretty cool. And again, his name has Aaron in it. On average, how much do you spend in a month of Bleach Brave Souls? I would probably say 200. 200 to 300. It really depends on what my orb count is looking like. If I have like 7k, then I'm not really buying orbs, but if I'm on like 2k, then I'm buying a few orbs. Which novel did you like more, Comfy or World or Spirits Are Forever With You? So in this case, I'm a tad bit biased because Safui is the most recent novel. It literally just finished in-game. We did do a retrospective a couple of days ago. Recommend you guys check out that video. But I would say, as of right now, Spirits Are Forever With You. I'm a massive fan of what narrator did in this particular novel, and I do think Comfy World is better, but I do think Spirits Are Forever With You just has that little, you know, soft spot for me right now, especially because it's the more recent one. I absolutely love the characters. Kurashiki was a really cool character, and it was a shame to see him go so early, and we didn't know much about him, but for the time being of him being on the page in the story, he did leave an impression on me, and I would love to see more about him, and hopefully we do see that sometime in the future if they ever do adapt the novel in an anime format. As Ashura, I thought was a really cool and interesting character. His similarities with Urozakura, Kenpachi, and Yachiru I also thought was really cool. His character itself was a very interesting villain, and then of course we had Cien. He was also really cool. Roka became a really cool character for me in this particular novel. Kenpachi was as badass as ever, and then Don Kanoji I think really grew as a character, and that's one of the best things I'll say about this particular novel, is that it made me really like Don Kanoji. Prior to reading this novel, Don Kanoji was a character that I really didn't have the best opinion of. He was just kind of the meme character, but after reading the novel, Don Kanoji again became a really badass character, surprisingly. Again, his moment when he attacks Adashira was such a cool moment, and that's why I absolutely adore the character in-game. So yeah, I would say Safui is what I prefer right now. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No. Do you think we'll see Yuha's Mustache Evolution in the anime like in the manga? I would like to assume no, because normally the animes go with the final design, so we don't get that weird evolution. Very similar to JoJo Part 4, where it started off looking like this and then it ended up looking like this, so the anime went with the final design. In this case, I think we might see something similar, but I don't know. The mustache did look a bit weak at the start, so maybe we will. That would be interesting to see. I'll definitely be following along with that. My question is, what is it like having a brother who makes content in the Grand Cross community? I don't really think about it. It's just, we just do our own thing. That's basically about it. I guess it's funny. It's always fun to see people comment on my video saying, yo, are you BTPH? Or people comment on his video, yo, is that Adam Yodo? You make content? It's funny. So I guess it's funny, is what I would say. That's the emotion I'm feeling right now. What's your ideal Bleach game? How would you design one? So I'm kind of just piggybacking off a very popular opinion of what I think would be the perfect Bleach game. Of course, a 2D arc system type of fighting game would be really cool for Bleach. A really well-developed 3D arena fighting game would also be really cool. But I think the best game we could get in terms of Bleach that would just never happen is a From Software Dark Souls type game where we play as Ichigo going through Soul Society. It's grungy, you don't know about the place, there's just a bunch of halls, a bunch of enemies too, and then the bosses can end up being, you know, Jidambo. Imagine like a massive Jidambo boss that plays like a Dark Souls game, or, you know, Elden Ring, for example. Imagine Genpachi as a boss fight, and this man just one-shots you by using his spiritual pressure, taking off the eye patch as his like second phase. I think that would just be too good, and it's too good to be true because that would basically never happen. But that would be my ideal Bleach game. But at the same time, again, I would take a very well-developed 2D or 3D fighting Bleach game. Have you tried or are currently playing any other gacha game like Grand Cross or Dokkan? So if you don't know, and I already stated on my Twitter, I am currently a gachaholic, right? I absolutely love gacha games, and it's not the best thing to be into. Now, for the time being, I have cut down on my gacha games. My 3 main gacha games that I'm playing right now is Bleach Brave Souls, occasionally Fate Grand Order, and also Blue Archive. But prior to that, you know, I played Grand Cross. I played for a few months when the game first came out. I played the Japanese version too. I played Dokkan. I still have my account and I still log into it every now and then during celebrations, for example, but I don't really play it. I played One Piece Bounty Rush, Treasure Cruise, Lane, Legends, the Slime Gacha game, Blazing before it shut down, Tokyo Ghoul, Rebirth before it shut down. So I played a lot of gacha games, but Bleach Brave Souls is like the only gacha game that really kept me playing for 7+ years, and I'll continue to play this game until it basically shuts down. Whereas, you know, the other games, I eventually just drop off over time. What would you do if BBS ever failed in expectations? Would you switch to another game? Simple answer, no. I don't ever see myself dropping Bleach Brave Souls to go ahead and play like another gacha game. And the only way I would do that is if we ever got a better Bleach gacha game. And right now, the 2 other Bleach gacha games aren't as good as BBS, so I'm sticking out this journey until the end. But I can give an example where my expectation was failed. I think the most recent one would be the level indicators, for example. That right there was, obviously we all know that debacle where they turned all our characters back to green. And if you know my account, I have link sorted every single character in my box to T10 just for the sole purpose of having those orange level. And I was really looking forward to potentially getting a new-found reason or motivation to T20 my characters, to max strength my characters. Unfortunately, the outcome just wasn't that. It basically stayed the exact same because they absolutely flopped it. But essentially, I don't ever see myself dropping this game because of a mess up, right? I love this game, I love this community too much to just go ahead and drop it like that. Which light novel would you like to see animated and why? So we've already mentioned it that I do prefer Spirits Are for review, and therefore I would love to see that get animated, and I think it would work great as an animated movie, but I think for the overall Bleach community, and what would make most sense, would be to animate Confiord first. I'll just mainly do that one. Safui is kind of a side story that can be told if they want to do it, and I think it would be a great thing to do, but Confiord is a direct continuation of the Thousand Year Blood War arc, and fixes some of the problems the arc does have. So if they were to only animate one of them, I would say they have to do Confiord. And in my opinion, if they did, of course, I'd be really excited for that. Getting Tokunada's voice actor back and getting Tokunada on an actual screen animated would be really, really cool. Same with Hikone, and then it would also be really cool to see Bankai Shuei and also Shinji animated as well. What are things you did as a new player you regret doing now? So as a veteran, there isn't really much that I regret. I never really did anything super bad as a new player when I first started the game. But I guess the only bad thing I did do, to a certain extent, was spending orbs on the premium banner, and banners that, you know, had 3% pull rates, and that I shouldn't have been summoning on, that I should have been saving my orbs for Enderman Banners, for example. But at the time, it wasn't really like a super bad thing to do, because that was the only banner in the game, so that's why I did it, and that's essentially about it. What's your favorite Bankai? That right there is a loaded question. Unfortunately, I will not be able to answer that. But I guess I would say, right now, at the top of my head, Ichibe's Bankai. Ichibei, I think, was a very cool character. The only cool Squad Zero character, in my opinion. Well, the others are cool too, but, you know, they all got washed up. Ichibei stood his ground against Yuha, and I think his Shikai and also Bankai was really cool. So I would probably say my favorite Bankai right now is Ichibei. Will you react to the Bleach Thousand Bubble arc on your channel? So right now the answer is yes, I do plan to react to the episodes weekly. Originally I was only going to do the big moments, the big massive fights and react to those on the channel. But I think in this case, because I haven't read the final arc in a couple years, there are moments I'm going to forget about. And especially because the animation itself is also going to be really, really good. And also there's going to be some original scenes that aren't even in the manga. I think that would warrant that even me, someone that read the manga, it would still be fun to, you know, sit down and watch my reactions. At the same time, many of us have been waiting years for this. So it would be nice to watch every episode weekly with you lads and we can just, you know, go with this journey together. But we are going to come across a problem with the episodes potentially being blocked. Now, when it comes to my reaction videos, I like to have the, you know, the screen in the background, me in the bottom left, because I want you lads to experience and see what I'm seeing. But due to that fact, it means the videos get claimed and therefore they make no money. And YouTube right now is my job, so that is something I have to think about. Now, the trailers we did post combined got like almost 70,000, 90,000 views. Them getting claimed is fine, it's only a trailer. But when it comes to the episodes, they get claimed, they get blocked. And that means no one can even watch it. So we are going to have to work around it, but I do want to try and make sure that you lads can also watch it along with me. I don't like reaction videos where the video itself is like in the bottom right and you can barely see it. But I understand why people do it because it's the only way to get around the copyright system, right? So we'll see how it goes, but I do intend to watch the episodes weekly and upload it to the channel. So we'll see how it goes. Top 10 anime waifu. That's a loaded question. Let's get into it. Keep in mind that this is in no particular order. Levi, Yoruichi, Nami, Yamato, Urza, Sakura, Rin/Ishtar, Jolene, Beatrice, and also Giselle. At one moment, did you know for sure you were going to make BBS content? So the thought of becoming a BBS content creator kind of just happened overnight. I wanted to make content on a gacha game. My friend was doing it, my brother was doing it, so I wanted to do the same. And I'm spending all this time on these mobile games such as, you know, Dokkan Battle, Treasure Cruise, Naruto Blazing, and Bleach Brave Souls. I wanted to make videos on one of the games. And of course, I ended up doing content on Bleach Brave Souls mainly because I had more fun playing that game, and I also felt like I didn't have to spend money to keep up. Whereas in the other games, I feel like you kind of need to get all the characters instantly. In BBS, you really don't. BBS is a game you pull for characters you think are fun and you're going to enjoy playing. Very rarely do you have to summon for a character because you need them. Whereas in the other games, you need them. At the time, I was actually spending more money in Blazing and spending more time in Blazing, and I was going to make Blazing content, but in the end, I went for BBS because I just thought it was the better thing to do, and in the end, it worked out because Blazing shut down and BBS is you know, it's still here 7 years later. We have the anime coming back, so it's going to be a fun time. How do you still enjoy BBS after such a long time? So it's very simple. I still just enjoy playing the game. I think the game's fun. I like what Caleb are doing. There's a lot of stuff to do now, especially nowadays compared to what there was years ago. There's a lot. Like, you have Arena, you have Epic Raid, IT, IZ. There's almost a lot to do, and then sometimes they can feel like there's nothing to do, but I generally like the game Bleach Brave Souls. I love theory crafting with teams on guild quests. I love playing Arena with my friends and my guild mates, for example. Just getting some absolute fat, quick dubs. I like Brave Battles now. I like the Brave Battle meta, so I generally just like the game. Did BBS affect your daily life in the past years, or was it just a hobby? So of course, prior to the 4th anniversary, BBS was just a hobby. I played it on the side, that was about it. Around the 3rd anniversary, I started making content, and then around the 4th anniversary is when my channel started to get pushed into the algorithm, when I started to get a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and ever since then, I've been basically doing double uploads, and it was only until as the Shiro's banner around April time where I started to do double uploads, and I have been doing YouTube full time since then, so it has affected my life, and I would say it's in a positive way. What other manga and anime do you like? Just the usual stuff. Again, I have been watching anime for many, many years now, so there's obviously a lot of things I've seen. I guess for just anime manga, you know, just the normal shonen stuff. One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball, Demon Slayer, JJK, AOT, you know, just the usual stuff I like. What's your favorite anime? So, lo and behold, it's Bleach. Bleach and also JoJo are my 2 favorite series of all time. Now, it kind of cycles between which one I like more, depending on what has more content. So, obviously, when I watched Bleach, it was Bleach, and then I watched JoJo, it was then JoJo, and I think it's been JoJo, and especially with Part 6 coming out, despite Netflix absolutely ruining the anime itself, I would say it's JoJo, right? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But with the new Bleach anime coming out, therefore more content, new content, it's going to go back to Bleach. After episode 1 of Bleach drops next month, Bleach is my new favorite anime again. Essentially is how it is, right? But Bleach and JoJo are basically tied for number 1, and it just goes to whichever one has more content going on at the time you ask me that question. Will you ever make content outside of BBS? It could be anything, not just other games. I appreciate the thought that people would watch me make other content outside of BBS, but right now, I'm just dedicated to Bleach. This channel, I only want to be Bleach content. Every now and then you might get a very rare non-Bleach video, but for the time being, I think with the future of Bleach 2, I think it's obviously very promising. I want to just stick to doing BBS content, Bleach reaction videos, and potentially if we ever get a new Bleach console game, then of course you know I'm going to be uploading videos like that. Outside of that, there's not really much I want to upload. I still play other gacha games, and it would be nice to upload those videos, but I just want to do Bleach for the most part. This channel is a Bleach channel, and the day Bleach dies is the day this channel dies. Very simple. What other gacha games do you play? So again, we kind of answered that already, but right now, again, I've tried to cut down on many gacha games. I've uninstalled most of them. My free gacha games that I play is Bleach Bracelets as my main, Blue Archive as my side gacha game. It's a very easy side gacha game. I log into it, play for 10 minutes, do all my dailies, spend all my stamina. And then Fate Grand Order is my third game that I play every now and then whenever there's events going on. That's basically about it. What was your first impression or experience with Bleach Brave Souls? So again, as we mentioned, when downloading the game Bleach Brave Souls, I wasn't that familiar with Bleach, but it did leave a good impression because it got me to watch and finish Bleach. And as I mentioned, I came across it because a YouTuber at the time, Boris Anime, made a video on it, and I just gave it a shot, and ever since then, it's become this, essentially, right? What's something like a character that you want to see in-game but will probably never see? A double team Segunda Etapa Okiura and also Full Hollow Ichigo, or a double team Mugetsu and also Monster Aizen. I think the idea of a double team character is really cool, and I would love to see Caleb essentially do instead of a double team character that works together, they're going against each other, where if you choose to play as Ichigo or Aizen or Ichigo and Okiura, the attacks they do with their Knight String and their Sword Bomb is essentially them just clashing, causing collateral damage. There is an old PS2 Bleach game, I believe, where they have tag team characters, and the special attacks is essentially them just attacking each other that therefore causes collateral damage. And I think it would be really cool to see what Caleb can do with a Soul Bomb of, imagine Ichigo and Okiura, Full Hollow Ichigo, Segunda Etapa Okiura, or Aizen versus Ichigo, and we actually see them clashing in a Soul Bomb. Because right now the Soul Bombs are great. I love the Soul Bombs in Bleach Brave Souls, but they're by themselves. It's just them doing an attack in kind of like an empty void. It would be really cool to see two characters actually clashing against each other, and that is like my ideal character in-game, and it's something I would love to see, but it's probably never going to happen. Unless, why do you like / enjoy Bleach? That is a weird question, an interesting one, and also a hard one to answer. I've never really thought about why I stuck around with Bleach. Because I've seen One Piece, I've seen Naruto, just comparing it to the big three. I've always preferred Bleach. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the style. Like you mentioned, Bleach does have its problems, and that doesn't make the series bad. I think just like the style of Bleach is something that no other anime can replicate. You know, the character designs, the world itself, the setting, not being the best, but it's just so different. And I really like Ichigo as a main character. People would downplay him, saying he doesn't have a goal and therefore you can't relate to him. But I relate to Ichigo. I think many of us do, because he feels like an actual character. He doesn't feel like this just Goku clone, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Not to downplay Naruto or Luffy or anything, or any other characters, but Ichigo has always seemed realistic, and I kind of relate to him the most, especially because we're technically both ginger, but that's not the point. The Bleach world in general, with the power systems, you know, the Shikai, Bankai, you know, whenever you hear a character say Bankai, it sends shivers down your spine that no other anime, maybe outside of JJK, because they took heavy inspiration from Kubo and Bleach itself, can really replicate. So that's really right. I just think it's cool. Regardless of points where it doesn't make sense, regardless of the final arc being rushed and stuff like that, Bleach is cool, and it's just that simple. Why are you so handsome? See, thank you, right? What banner did you get most excited about in your time playing Bleach Brave Souls? 1000 Year Blood War Round 4. I'm a massive Yoruichi simp. Having a 4-character banner for an anniversary was absolutely amazing. Again, nowadays we get 2-character banners, but back then 3-character banners were the norm. So having a 4-character banner was exciting. It being 1000 Year Blood War, giving us a true Bankai Ichigo. I like Ichigo, that was sick. I love Kisuke's Bankai, that was sick. Having Thundercat Yoruichi, she actually made it in one of the original 14 manga characters. If you don't know, there was a limit of how many characters they could do, and I was really hoping Yoruichi would be one of them, and she was. And then, of course, we got Yuha. Yuha, such a cool villain. I love this character, and having him in Bleach Brave Souls, our first original character from the final arc, because obviously he used Zangetsu's voice actor. I was basically calling for that for many, many months when the 1000 Year Blood War arc was first announced to be coming in-game, and they actually did it, so it was essentially just a dream come true banner. What gacha game do you enjoy the most currently aside from BBS? Blue Archive. Again, most of my time is spent in BBS, and I do that mainly just because I only want to just focus my time on one game. So having a game like Blue Archive, which is super, super casual, again, you go into it, you spend all your stamina, you do all your dailies within basically 10 minutes, and you progress your account quite a bit. It's super easy because you just go in and sweep. Most of them I don't have to play the game, and I just really like doing that. I think the game has a cute style to it. I love the meta of the game too. I love the gameplay, and I think just the fact that it makes for a really perfect side game makes me enjoy it the most, alongside while putting most of my effort and time in Bleach Brave Souls. Do you consider yourself the best BBS YouTuber? I appreciate the comment, JJ, and the answer is, of course I do. If I didn't, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? And I assume it's the same for other content creators. You gotta think you're the best, otherwise then you're doing something wrong. I put a lot of effort into my videos. You might not be able to always tell, but, you know, a 10-minute video, just me reading news, can take hours to upload because I try to do it in multiple takes. I try to make sure I take the best possible version. Sometimes I stutter, and instead of editing it out, I just redo the entire video. So it's a habit on my end that's not really good because I waste a lot of time that don't need to be wasted. But for the most part, when it comes to uploading videos on the channel, I like to have some type of standard of quality, and we have been getting better. I mean, go watch my videos 2 years ago, even a year ago, but like 4 years ago, we were basically whispering. I like to try and be a bit more energetic, fun videos, and we try to spice it up with the edits and, you know, thumbnails, stuff like that. And lately I have been going out, reaching out to other people to edit my video and make different thumbnails just to overall make the content better, because there's limits to what I even can do, right? But yes, to answer that question again, of course mine's the best. Well, the BBS World Champ for a reason, son. How does one get BBS luck as good as yours? The answer is simple. Nah, almost said it. Was almost spoiled it. Nah, I'm not gonna say. Don't worry, bruv. Don't worry. Do you think they'll ever add Hell characters or Beyond Full bring Beyond Volstandic forms? Or do you think they'll ever adapt other light novels besides Spirits Are With You and also Can't View Out? So just to answer a few questions, Beyond Fullbring and Volstandig potentially is possible in the future. I think they can definitely do something. Like I mentioned already, when 1000 Year Blood War, when they milk 1000 Year Blood, when they release most of the characters, there's definitely something they can do with the Stern Ritters and give them original forms, because they are popular. Like, people are excited for these characters. And even when they are in the game, people will go crazy over original forms for those Stern Ritters. For Fullbringers, I'm not sure if they're popular enough to do that, but if they did, I'd still be excited. Again, I think that's definitely a possibility. Not sure if it ever happened, though. Other light novels other than Can't View Out and Safui, I'm not too sure. Is there any other light novels besides them two? Is it just like the wedding one? Maybe we'd get a Wedding Rukia one day, who knows? And then for the Hell arc, I think it's best to wait. Right now, there's only like 3 characters they could give us, that being the Zayapuro, Yuzuhara, and the other guy that I forgot his name of. I apologize if it's on your screen. Those 3. They could give us those 3 characters, but I feel like we don't need them just now. Especially because we haven't even got majority of the 1000 Year Blood War characters. Like, let's wait a bit before we get the Hell arc stuff. But I'm sure that will come one day. What's your favorite console or PC game? I guess right now is probably Valorant. Like, besides BBS, I do play Valorant with my friends every now and then. That's basically about it. What is your honest thoughts on Grade Lab and the game? Like, are you satisfied with how Grade Lab does things with the game? Or what do you think of Grade Lab as a company? So my honest thoughts on the game right now, we are in a really good position. The game obviously has a bright future with 1000 Year Blood War returning, but the game itself is also actively getting better. We do, you know, we hate on K-Lab because they're quite slow with the updates, and that is true. That's a valid criticism. But at the same time, at the very least, they aren't giving up on this game. You know, you look at Blazing. That game shut down because the developers gave up on it. They got bored of it. BBS, K-Lab, they are slow at it, but they are making the game better. I think most updates we get nowadays are very positive. Of course, there are very big mess-ups that Caleb have done, and they've tried to fix it. You know, the most recent anniversary compensation was great in my opinion, and ever since the new lead developer changed over sometime last year, we've been starting to see some really great changes to Bleach Brave Souls in terms of just quality of life. I mean, in the last year or so, we've gotten some great quality of life updates that have just made the game better and way less grindy. That's one of the big things you hear about Bleach Brave Souls, that the game is too grindy. And if you're trying to max out your entire box, it's grindy. But if you're only trying to max out your favorite characters, it's not even that bad. Honestly, it's not. You can just farm for an hour a day, maybe even less than that. Farm for like just the weekend, and you can just max out all your favorite characters and just have some fun. I do think Caleb are stupid, and it's kind of funny come from me because I don't really know much about the game industry, but there are things that just make you question, what are Caleb doing? Now that comes to the paid packs, the packs themselves are absolutely terrible, and it almost looks like Caleb don't want you to spend money in this game. Secondly, the banners themselves, there's no pity system. I think once we get that, the game will be in a way better position, especially because, as I mentioned, this game really comes down to you having fun with your favorite characters, and if you can't get them, you're not going to play the game. So it's kind of ridiculous, 7 years later, we still don't have a pity system. And then my biggest problem with the game right now is the links to characters. I want to use my favorite characters. I want to farm with who I want to farm for. There's a reason why I pull for them, but then I'm forced to use these links to characters. If for some way, some reason, they can make it so I don't have to use these links to characters but still get the bonus, then the game will almost be perfect. And quite frankly, that's the two big things I want to see changed. Pity system, and stop forcing me to use these links to characters. Let me get the bonus while using someone else, and the game will almost be perfect. As for Caleb though, I think they're pretty decent as far as gacha game developers do go. You know, some can be really scummy, and I wouldn't say Caleb is scummy here. I played a lot of gacha games where they treat you like absolute trash. Caleb is far from that. They're far from perfect. I think they're like in the middle of the bunch, near the upper middle part, I guess, if that makes sense. I think they could be better, but they could also be significantly worse, and I'm glad they're not that bad. What football club do you support? Arsenal. Favorite character in-game? Safoi Retsu. How much do you like me on a scale from 1 to 10?
I am feeling a strong 5 to a light 6.
Does your brother do 7 Deadly Sins content? I've seen a dude that looks and almost sounds exactly like you. Girlfriend showcase when? She's not ready to be shown yet. Where do you see yourself and your channel in 5 to 10 years? Still Bleach Brave Souls? That's the plan. Height reveal. I haven't measured myself, but I'm pretty sure I'm 6 foot. Do you have a pet? Yes. And her name's Tilly. What is your real name? My name's Aaron. That's why I named myself after Adam Yodo, because I couldn't really come up with a name, so I just kind of copied the character's name. But with that said, guys, that was the video for today. Hope you guys did enjoy this little Q&A. Hopefully it's able to get you to know me better. I appreciate everyone that spent time there to, to answer me those questions. I had fun time recording this. My voice is starting to go. I'm not sure if you can tell. It's definitely hurting right now since I've been talking almost for 2 hours, close to 3 hours to record all these questions. But yeah, I appreciate it, honestly. 50,000 subscribers. Never thought we'd actually hit that, but here we are. And here's to another 50,000. Are we getting greedy? Let's bring greedy. We're named after Aaroniero, Aaroniero.